Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio. What? It's not just me. I feel like it was just this weird thing that Zoom started doing. They wanted to let you know.
That's what's going.
Are we live?
It is rolling. All right. Well,
Matinee Edition, fresh out of Fast and Furious 9. For 9.
Fast and Furious 9.
You can't see him.
God,
His
dude.
time is now.
There was a shot in there where you couldn't see John Cena.
I'm pretty sure before...
Do you think that was a nod?
It might have been. before there was like a message from John Cena before the movie started going, and I leaned over to you and said, I can't see him.
Yeah. I can hear, but I can't see.
So
before we full on get into Fast 9, which we literally just came out of the theater.
Can we? And before we get into anything else, going to the movies is great.
Oh my fucking god, dude!
I missed it.
I missed
so
going to the
much.
movies so hard. It was so pleasant. It was exactly what I remembered, and it was exactly what I've been wanting this whole time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There were
Like,
less people.
oh, it was like,
quiet.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be way more crowded. It's like 108
8 degrees right now.
Yeah, 108 degrees.
We're inside sweating.
Yeah, I literally I have a glisten to me now that I'm not in the theater, the cool, refreshing theater. So I just want to take the moment to say on Matinee Edition, which thrives off of movies and entertainment.
Yeah,
definitely go back to the theaters, folks. Go enjoy those fucking plush, cushy seats.
You know, I've been seeing stuff. People are struggling to ease back into this new normal that we're all experiencing.
For sure.
It's more than fair.
It's for sure. But just don't be afraid of the theater.
Don't be afraid.
It's there for you. It's an old friend.
If you're vaccinated, go in there, buy yourself some popcorn.
Exactly.
Sit, and enjoy the film.
Exactly.
You know,
I will tell you that. Right?
It is a
I'll
great release.
Don't fucking go to the theater if you're not vaccinated.
Exactly.
You're an asshole for not being vaccinated. Don't go.
Unless you have some pre-existing medical condition.
Yeah, or fair. I did hear about a pregnant lady who was waiting to have the baby before getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Fair enough.
But
if you
either
do not,
way,
disclaimer.
If you're capable and available to go,
get it.
Get it. Go see Fast 9. The barista we got espresso from before the movie was like, I would even go see Fast and Furious 9 just to get out of this heat. And
we were like, we're going to watch Fast and Furious 9.
That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah, dude, it was fantastic though, and the experience of being in there, getting the fucking popcorn, and just it was kicking back, and it was in that environment. It was just so nice.
It was so nice.
I'm gonna look forward to more.
I know. Black Widow in a week, man.
Hell yeah. I shouldn't wipe my sweaty mustache on my Tommy Bahama shirt.
Oh man,
Tommy Bahamas are such fine pieces of clothing.
I know. They're known for their quality.
They are. They're known for being quality and also ridiculously expensive. I guess goes hand in hand. But this is episode 77, and we've missed a little bit.
We recorded last week, but Zoom keeps fucking cutting us off.
It's the weirdest thing. I really want to switch programs. I feel like, but Zoom has been building a pretty accessible, an easy platform to use. It's just this weird. I think I just switched the plan, and I think it didn't necessarily. Maybe it didn't
hasn't changed yet.
Yeah, which sucks because I feel like I did 4 podcasts last week.
It was a long pod.
It was a good one,
just
dude.
under an hour. And we're gonna touch on some of the stuff. Most of these we got.
Yeah.
Well, let's just get going into it. Before we talk Fast and Furious, we're gonna talk some news.
It's basically Marvel and Fast and Furious,
exactly,
if you will.
So since the last time we had a published podcast, there's been a lot of shit. We've had 2 Shang-Chi trailers.
We've had
an Eternals trailer.
Damn.
And Loki is 3 episodes in.
And Marvel usually doesn't like to give us much. So the fact that we've had 3 trailers drop.
I know, it's crazy. Should we just what gave us the least to start? Eternals?
Yeah. Eternals, I mean, it's just setting up a mystery of a movie to me. You know, it looks really interesting, the world building that they're doing and the expanse of it.
And the a lot of people have been praising the directorial shift. It isn't stylistically going to be similar to a lot of Marvel films.
Okay.
And it's, I guess, according to Kevin Feige, and what we saw in the trailer, it is a very beautifully shot film. You can already tell. But it is going to feel different. And I like that.
Oh, for sure. I think, you know, one of the things, the directions I think they're heading with this next phase in the MCU is like trying out like different stylistic things. You know what I mean?
Cooling myself with a La Croix here. While you
cool La Croix. And I think that this is going to be an example of like a stylistic difference and a movie difference than like what they've tried to dabble with before.
Absolutely.
Doctor Strange, I think, is also going to be a little bit of a different like
Multiverse of Madness
with a little more like horror element.
Yeah,
you know
look at what we got in WandaVision. Look at what we got in Loki. There's sort of, I think the MCU has become enough like the comics that people are willing to accept ridiculously tonal and presentational differences.
Definitely.
Without it breaking the universe.
Yeah, for sure.
Not everything has to be shot the same. Not everything has to mirror what Jon Favreau did in Iron Man.
Yeah, and then, you know, and they've had really good pinnacle moments that they can like now reference.
Exactly.
Favreau's introduction of the MCU is that. James Gunn's contribution through the Guardians of the Galaxy is another thing they keep touching on. Taika Waititi's work.
Yep.
You know,
the Russos' excellent work on Captain America
and now they have all this plethora of really solid directorial work, writing, acting. You know, and they can really start you know, just doing slightly different things. You know, Doctor Strange comic books, for instance, always have this element of like horror to them in a way, like, you know,
whether it's like horror,
fantasy and whatnot. And
it's that fear of the unknown type thing a lot of times with Doctor Strange.
Absolutely.
And it's not like it's not like jump scares.
No.
It's
like
it's like
monsters
a creepiness,
are scary. You
know?
know, Cthulhu shows up.
Exactly. And you know,
and they can finally start doing that because they've done sort of the normal character and universe building, and they've done it for long enough now that it's finally got a foundation.
You know, this it brings up something interesting to me. Differences between the comics and the films now. They're going to only become more pronounced. Things are going to go in different directions. People just have to accept that.
Well,
I want to quickly say, fuck you, you're wrong, to all the people complaining about the Eternals swapping genders or swapping races for characters. It doesn't fucking matter. No one gives a shit about Eternals.
2004 called and wants its, I don't know,
controversy back.
You know, that shit's so stupid.
It's one of those things of like, man, I can't believe they ruined Eternals. Who the fuck read Eternals before this shit was announced? Yeah. The most selling Eternals run happened after the movie was announced. And it was because of the hype of, oh, there's going to be a movie. We need to check out what this is all about.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I as soon as they announced the movie, I was one of those people that was sort of like, you know, I want to go get like Neil Gaiman's run of the Eternals.
Exactly.
You know.
And you know,
but yeah, it's definitely.
These are more niche characters.
For sure.
Like, these are not household names like Superman. You know, everybody has that image of Superman. Somebody asks you
well, Scarlet Witch is a great example.
Exactly.
Scarlet Witch is a fairly low key Marvel character. Well, not low key, but like a fairly less prominent. It's not the big three. It's not the big five. Scarlet, you know, and all of a sudden, look at who's the focal point of this next MCU phase.
Exactly.
It's fucking Scarlet Witch. Look who
it's not House of M as well.
Well, exactly, and you know they took, you know, in a way they were able to see that Scarlet Witch in comics worked on these bigger scales for these like kind of storylines, and they probably looked at that and was like, wow, dude, we could develop this character in a way better way than just like the, you know, all right, I'm gonna go battle somebody now.
To anybody that was like, WandaVision was honest to House of M, it bared more resemblance to the Vision solo comic that ran in 2015 than anything that the Scarlet Witch has ever been in.
Definitely. I think people forget that Scarlet Witch is in other storylines besides just House of M.
And speaking of inclusion and showing different perspectives and different kinds of people on film. Fuck you if you had a problem with Loki being bisexual, because if you actually look into any Norse mythology, there was it was not unheard of.
Hey, there's a lot of plugging happening in different things all over the place.
It's not unheard of.
All through history.
Look at fucking...
Your favorite heterosexual in history probably fucked somebody of their own gender.
Exactly. Like these fucking Norse gods, the Greek gods.
Oh yeah.
You think
Like
you think Apollo is straight?
The thing that I have no beefs with sexuality, with Loki's sexuality of any means. But what I find annoying is when you watch something like that and it goes, and maybe this is just a symptom of the times, but it's like something like, okay, you find out Loki's bisexual in the middle of the show, and somebody goes, "Oh yeah, did you guys hear that?
Whoa!
Oh, let's all fucking celebrate." It's
that
like,
is annoying.
I also don't give a shit.
Are
we all on the same page that
Loki's
fictional sexuality doesn't fucking matter?
Exactly. And that is the essence of actual inclusion.
Yeah,
getting to the point where it doesn't matter.
And that's exactly what I meant by that comment right before. That was that, like, it's a sign of the times where it's sort of like, you have people cheering that on and whatnot. Which,
this shouldn't be a special thing.
It shouldn't have to be a focal point. It shouldn't even be a fucking factor.
And it wasn't a focal point in the episode.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a really nice, like, kind of offhand sort of passing moment that really, like, did kind of lay that work down. But again, and this happens with a lot of things, especially during things like Pride Month. You see big companies fucking
changing
doing
their
things
logos,
to, like, pander to crowds. And I'm not saying that Loki's bisexuality is pandering to anybody, but we have to take into perspective that Disney greenlit this. Okay,
yeah,
so,
I'll give you that.
They want you to go wave your Pride flags at their Disneyland theme parks. So,
exactly.
Make
sure you
cool,
go to Disney World to celebrate 50 years
useless.
At the beginning of October.
That was so funny. Watching that ad before the movie, like, what 50-year anniversary is Disney celebrating?
Yeah, I know. And this is a Universal film.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Why are they advertising this?
Universal. Apparently, the Universal doesn't have money to keep them at bay. But yeah, I mean, but overall, dude, I mean, Loki. We've had 3 episodes of that show now.
Let's not get too spoilery. After the series is over, we can just fucking go for it.
But it has been a fantastic ride so far.
Yeah.
The first episode was really nice and character building and emotional in a way.
Second episode, we started diving more into the mystery.
Yeah, and this third episode was a little more of like an adventure as well as more character building in a very fun way.
A necessary side quest.
And you get to kind of see, like, this is something I love that the MCU is doing a little more and more and more. You're starting to see just like random alien worlds, and like things happening on them. I love that shit.
Like we said earlier, you don't have. It's no longer world breaking.
Yeah.
To just throw characters into some different situations.
Exactly. And yeah, which makes it immediately more fun. And I think that was the thing that they took note from James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I 100% agree.
Was that he just went for it with that movie.
Yep.
Like, there was no context for any of the things happening in that movie prior in the MCU.
Yep.
And he was just like, nope, this movie's in fucking space. This movie, like these, it's all about these aliens, all this shit. And it's just like, yeah, it's just different. It worked. People just loved it and gobbled it up. But yeah, like,
and it's like, actually, I think of this every once in a while. What if Guardians of the Galaxy failed?
Oh yeah,
the MCU wouldn't be what it is now.
I guarantee you it wouldn't.
We would have never gone Thor Ragnarok.
No, absolutely not.
They would have made Infinity War and Endgame completely Earth-centric.
Yeah.
And there probably would have been some writing in circles to get the Guardians stuck on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. I guarantee you the MCU as we know it would be a completely different place. Which is why it's smart and amazing that WB poached Gunn when he got kicked off of Disney and, like, to do at least just one fucking property.
I know. Which it looks like it's going to be a winner.
Oh, Jesus, dude. That's the other one. I can't wait for Suicide Squad, man.
Who knows,
movie looks really fun.
Knows?
Who knows? But I doubt James Gunn would want to attach his name to a shitty piece of work. So.
Exactly. Before we get too sidetracked, because we want to spend time on Fast and Furious, let's talk about the Shang-Chi trailer. Once again, Shang-Chi trailer 2 just was released. Mm-hmm. And once again, playing into what we're talking about, random curveballs from the other side of the universe. but everything is 3 degrees of separation at this point. So there's no harm in it. The 10 rings appeared for the first time in Iron Man 1. The Mandarin, the fake Mandarin, used the symbolism of the 10 rings in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Almost a decade later now, we're getting the legit Mandarin. And guess what? Abomination and Wong are in it.
That's the fucking that's such a curveball. I mean, I wonder, like that shot from the trailer blew up.
Yeah.
And I wonder how long that interaction's gonna last. Who
knows?
How that scene works around it. You know what I mean?
I would love to see Wong stick around in the movie. I mean, I doubt Abomination would, but
Wong maybe, yeah.
Because they're introducing with the 10 rings a level of mysticism.
Oh, for sure.
And Wong could be a perfect vessel for explaining that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that. It would make a really good connector for. I'm opening the recording play store.
Leave it in.
Hopefully it'll cool down.
Just felt it.
Yeah, dude.
Come in.
Just so everybody knows, we're sweating balls off to record a podcast for you. I think. I mean, it would be really fun. What's his last name again?
Benedict Wong.
No, that fits. But he's like, I've seen him in a handful of other things. He played like Genghis Khan
in the Marco Polo series.
Yeah,
on
and
Netflix.
like he's just like a really charismatic actor.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Did you know that Marco Polo is the only ever Netflix original to get taken off Netflix? You can't find Marco Polo anywhere.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Actually, that series was fairly entertaining.
That was like the first big Netflix original.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can find like that spin-off movie that they did. Well, it was like a character prelude and prequel.
Some shit like that.
Either way, I feel like it'll be interesting to see how that fight kind of plays out around the scene, because it looks like it's happening in some sort of club, and it's maybe
bar fight type.
Yeah, like a bar fight
kind
of.
It's like a cage match.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they include Madripoor. Going in the future, that had very Madripoor-like vibes. It was all neon.
We already saw it in fucking The Winter Soldier, and with it being such a central location,
exactly,
where a crime syndicate such as the 10 Rings would probably operate out of.
Yeah, I feel like we might find ourselves back there.
Maybe we'll see some Sharon Carter.
We were talking about it earlier.
So lame.
The 2 trailers for Shang-Chi that have come out were kind of really interesting in that the first one was like a very like grounded
martial arts
style trailer.
Yeah.
And the second one just immediately like boom. You're
mysticism.
You're seeing the 10 rings and like kind of some of what they can do. You see like some
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit.
Dude, you see some powers from
martial
Shang-Chi
arts
at the end, and
there's a beam struggle with the rings.
Yeah, dude, it's like it'll be interesting to see what the entirety of that movie is.
I already sort of know. Like, there's the bullshit about Shang-Chi's just a normal dude. He can't stick with everyone.
Well,
he's
he can.
He's gonna have the rings at the end.
That's the mistake though. Like, he absolutely can. Like, Shang-Chi has like this weird ability to like be able to like mimic himself.
Yeah.
And like shit like that. He's literally the master of martial arts. He's not Iron Fist. He could whoop Iron Fist's ass. Like, you know what I mean?
He's evasive. As they're sort of going at, he's unkillable with traditional means.
He trains with Spider-Man. Like he trains Spider-Man. Like,
did he?
Yeah. He trains like when there's like a period of time where Spider-Man loses his like spider sense, and he trains Spider-Man in what they develop, spider foo or something like that.
Like an evasive type of martial art.
Like just uses his like agility, but also mashes it with martial arts. Yeah. That Shang-Chi teaches him. He's a very interesting actually interesting character.
Yeah.
To include, but. Anyway, it was just like a really interesting dynamic because, like we were talking about with MCU in general, like, we've kind of had our moment of like foundation building.
Yep.
And then grounding, sort of characters, and now we're starting to like really just take off. I'm interested. I think the only like character, beside that I consider like a street level character that we might see in the MCU next is the Moon Knight series. Other than that, they're working on some big superhero projects.
Once we're removed enough, we might see the Daredevil come back. And like Iron Fist. I love the idea behind Iron Fist. Netflix just didn't execute it well.
Yeah, I mean, no hate on the series. You know, it was a fun watch.
It was a fun little romp, not meant to be taken seriously.
I just don't think that would be. I don't think that itself would generate enough interest to like revitalize.
Well, that's why I say far enough removed.
Yeah, like we're talking about like decade and from now we'll get another Daredevil finally.
Yeah.
But I mean they have a lot going on. We got Black Widow coming out next week. We have the Shang-Chi trailers.
Yeah.
We have.
We're going to be getting a Far From Home trailer very
Dude.
soon, or No Way Home trailer very soon.
We were joking about it, if would it pop up before the movie? No. But
all we saw was like fucking escape room Tournament of Champions bullshit.
The trailers on Fast 9 were so
weird,
stupid, man. I was not
Sing
interested
2.
in any of the things that they were showing.
What the fuck?
us.
Where's the Jurassic World trailer? I don't care about Jurassic World, but that was like. They were like, go watch Fast and
You
Furious
told me
9.
I was going to have a fucking a Jurassic World trailer. But
yeah.
But
before we move on to Fast and Furious quickly, how do you feel about Abomination's redesign?
I mean, how do I say it? He doesn't look like drastically too different, which is what's wildly interesting. I thought if they were going to reintroduce some sort of character, particularly from the Incredible Hulk, the bastard child of the MCU, like they'd
be the master.
Yeah, they would have like maybe.
Although
done something, but it works,
In the MCU tie-in comics, Black Widow murders the master before he's able to do anything.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, I like that they made it look a bit more like it does in the comics. It's more distinctive than just like gross looking ripped man.
Yeah, really ripped guy with bones jutting out of him.
Yeah, or some would call it apocalypse.
Yeah, or doomsday.
Doomsday. That's what I meant.
They all like that was like the generic design for so long. I feel like we need a big muscular.
Some
enemy.
could argue that Doomsday or like fucking Christ, I can't. Abomination.
Oh, yeah.
Abomination was the bad guy at the end of Batman vs Superman.
That was the first MCU DCEU crossover movie.
I like the sort of Finiers. It looks like it does in the comics, and I'm down with it, or at least more like it does in the comics.
Absolutely,
and I'm down with that.
Well, and there's no reason to not do that with a character like Abomination, who's a gamma radioactive
Do you think we'll
monster,
see Tim Roth before She-Hulk, because he's going to be in She-Hulk? Do you think we'll see him in Shang-Chi?
Yeah. That'd be interesting. I wonder how closely they're going to tie Shang-Chi into some of the movies coming up. But it would be smart actually to maybe try and tie it into like the She-Hulk series.
Yeah.
Or
maybe they apprehend it.
Oh yeah,
he's on trial.
Oh, there you go, dude. There you go. I mean, because that's the thing I'm most interested in about the She-Hulk series is sort of like what the action is going to be with that.
Yeah.
Her rumor is that it's going to be kind of courtroom drama centered. So I really hope that we see Jennifer Walters like trying supervillains or
defending superheroes.
Yeah, for like Spider-Man busted up your bodega. Yeah, you're trying to sue him or something.
So
but the MCU is really still cranking out some good stuff, and I can't wait to see MCU properties in the theaters.
We're getting hit hard and fast with MCU stuff.
Yes,
some can even argue we're getting hit quite quickly and with a level of furiousness,
with curiosity of some sort. Are you trying to?
I'm trying to give a hard segue.
The Fast and Furious 9 movie that just came out.
F9, yes.
F9. It's not the fate of the 9. It's
so
just F9.
Let's give some general thoughts, and then we go into spoilers.
I'll just jump in here and say that this was exactly what you're hoping for from a Fast and Furious movie. It's entertaining. It's energetic. There's some really great practical elements to it. There's a lot of fun stuff. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this as my go-to back into the theater experience.
Same here. I feel the same way. It's sort of exactly what I expected. I watched some reviews beforehand, nothing spoilery, but I have one problem with it, but I feel like that problem is being too critical for the movie that it is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll talk about it in spoilers.
It's one of those things like Fast and Furious movies you can analyze so hard.
Yeah.
And but that just takes the fun away from it.
In my opinion, it was a goofy, fun romp, perfect for theaters with well-directed action, and that's all I could ask for in a Fast and Furious film.
Yeah. And that being said, if you're really invested in the Fast and Furious, just go turn this off and go to your local theater and go watch it.
Yeah, please. And then come back and listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, don't forget.
And then
that's the
follow us on Old Heart Radio at Instagram and on YouTube, and then Old Heart and Space on Twitter.
Yeah. And subscribe to the podcast. It's
Tell
it's on iTunes.
Tell your friends.
It's on Spotify.
Tell your friends. We're gonna and now 10 seconds of downtime for you to leave.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
if
too
we
slow.
If we actually wait 10 seconds, it'll be,
feel like an eternity.
Yeah. Once you start recording things, you realize how valuable 10 seconds is.
Yeah.
But Fast and Furious 9 was like
fun.
Right out the gate fun.
Yeah.
But they try to hit you with some drama and some weight pretty early on.
I don't think that's like a bad thing.
Well, no. We're talking about the series that started from, like a family of street racers robbing DVD players out of trucks. Okay, this goes deep. I want some of that juicy backstory.
Yep. So we finally got to see the death of Toretto.
Yeah, of Dom Toretto's dad, which you hear about.
Yeah.
And this directly feeds into the situation that you expect it to, which is like the thing that got Toretto in jail to begin with, which was like,
the being the man to death with a wrench.
Yeah, or near death. They always made a point of saying near death.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't actually kill him.
Yeah.
He's still a good guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they hit you with that pretty early on. You find that, you get introduced to his brother, Jacob, in this
he's the guy. He's
scene.
the fucking. He's Michael from Peaky Blinders.
Dude, yeah, which worked out. I mean, like we talked about this on the way home. The dynamic between the young Dom and the young Jacob, like, would totally like work for other types of things.
They're better actors than Vin Diesel and John Cena.
That was the funny part. It was just like they are out acting them
so
hard.
It was crazy, but it worked really well.
It worked.
It set the stage well. It gave some necessary backstory.
Exactly. It leaves you with some. It gets you that drama, that juicy drama right off the bat, and then you kind of jump to what? Like, it's like it was them. They were sort of. It was like, Letty and Dom on their farm or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Living a quiet life. They have Brian, their kid, who, that's the kid from the last movie where his mom gets killed by Cypher or
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
By Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Who I fucking love that she is the overarching bad guy.
She is the big bad, actually, shockingly, in this.
Thanos.
And I think
it's Fast and Furious.
I think that bowl cut is really what like drives her to be such a compelling villain. Like, she knows that people are waiting to make fun of her for it. Dude, so she just cuts it off.
Dude, the dreads. She ditched the dreads from last time. Oh my god,
yeah, the Angelina Jolie Gone in 60-second dreads. Yeah.
Man,
it was an upgrade. I'll say this: it made me want a bowl cut. Okay, but yeah,
you pulled it off.
So her, my 6th grade self also thought so. But yeah, she was a real like treat to have back in the movie because her star power alone is just really
and she's entertaining,
always welcome.
I want to speaking star power for Charlize Theron. She is a charisma machine.
Yeah.
I missed The Rock and Jason Statham in this.
Definitely. Their energy and charisma were sorely missed throughout this movie. That
said, I expected to miss them more, personally. I still found the movie enjoyable without them. And I think it worked well.
For sure.
My favorite character from like the OG, from the earlier days, where Han is back.
Yeah,
which is fun.
That was really cool. You knew that was coming somehow in the trailer, and it was I'd say like the way they brought him back was sort of whatever. He's been off the grid working for Mr. Nobody. It was a really kind of convoluted backstory actually, but it was really cool to see him.
Expected
because he's a franchise favorite, man, and for him to be included back in like the last couple movies, hopefully, optimistically, is fucking all you get. That's all you want. You just want you want him there, man.
I'm curious now because there's a post-credits scene.
Yeah.
And it features Shaw beating the shit out of a dude inside of a punching bag.
Yeah.
Which was a good
that was a really good
It was a funny bit.
That was awesome.
And then Han shows up.
Yeah.
So are we getting like Hobbs, Shaw, and Han.
Dude, that would be wild.
Because Hobbs and Shaw ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And like where there's still like this evil fucking neo-futurist fucking
like weird
organization.
Yeah.
And that they're trying to fight.
Yeah.
So what is Han going to be in that? Because the reason Han's name stuck around was that people were pissed that Shaw became a good guy.
Yeah.
The whole hashtag Justice for Han thing trended after every single Fast and Furious film.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, people were so mad about that. Like, but either way, I wonder if they're going to address, or if they're going to continue having him involved in some way.
Based on that, I expected.
Yeah, for sure. But are you thinking that they're going to be making another Hobbs and Shaw movie then?
I do. I do genuinely think so. I think we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get a final Fast and Furious.
Definitely.
And then we're gonna they're setting it up. We're like, oh, Dom's gonna get out.
There's no way that they're not gonna do a Fast 10 because that would just round out the entire franchise.
And then they're gonna retire the actors that've been there for a long time. Then John Cena is gonna take it over. We're gonna have Hobbs and Shaw going on.
Well, and that was one of the things that you felt throughout this movie. You were kind of like, are we like this? Is John Cena meant to be, a mainstay character from here on out? Is he? They've really built him up to have this like family drama with Dom.
Yeah.
And then, clearly by the ending of the movie, he gets turned, like John Cena's character gets turned on by his partners, and then he kind of becomes a good guy.
I thought nice little jab at the real world with rich pricks run the world.
Oh yeah.
But that was my one major criticism. I think the Jacob turnaround was too quick.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely needed to see it later. But
I felt like it needed to happen in this movie, but there wasn't enough dialogue between Dom and Jacob.
Yeah, well, the dialogue in this movie was
that
was its Achilles heel.
I mentioned this.
Its dialogue was not strong.
I mentioned this on the drive back. One of the reviews I saw cited that Fast and Furious lost its longtime writer. Mm. The dude had written 2 through 8 and Hobbs and Shaw. I have my problems with Hobbs and Shaw.
For sure.
But I don't, I was like, oh shit. I didn't think Fast and Furious would be this heavily impacted by the loss of a writer.
Yeah. Well, somebody that's been with this, any sort of series for that many properties and, that much work.
They get to understand.
Yeah. The cadence of the writing and the dialogue
nuances.
is really dependent on that writer after a while. And that definitely showed in this movie.
Absolutely.
Man. It definitely did.
I don't think any of the characters were fundamentally betrayed in the script.
No.
But I do think that the set pieces just bordered on barely too egregious.
Yeah.
And it
was pushing it.
Chris Stuckman put this really well. He said the writing in Fast and Furious always made it absurd enough to be a film, but just barely far enough outside of reality that you could believe these people were superheroes.
Yeah, this movie threw that out the window and completely made them fucking superheroes.
And there was a bit about them being invincible, which I thought was pretty funny.
It was really funny, but then they continue to kind of play to that in this movie, where it's it would be funnier if they were Roman Pierce makes fun of the fact that he somehow never gets harmed in any of these movies. Yeah. But then somebody fucking dies or something like that. You know what I mean? He
mowed down a group. He was surrounded.
That was insane. It was and I can't tell if it was because if they wrote that scene in there because they wanted to justify the dialogue later.
They did. Yeah, absolutely.
Or if it's because they're just they're bombastic characters. The shot with Vin Diesel tearing down a ceiling, grabbing 2 gigantic chains that he can barely fit his hands around.
How about Letty
ripping them off the
How about Letty getting launched off her motorcycle and landing on Dom's hood?
There was so much of that in this movie. They did that for the first time a couple movies back, right?
Yeah.
And now this movie there was at least 5 or 6 instances of somebody on a different vehicle crashing that vehicle and then flying up in the air and landing on the windshield of another one.
I know.
Perfectly fucking okay.
I found it I thought it was very I had a good time with it.
Oh, for
no
sure.
matter what, you can't say you didn't have a good time with it.
Oh no.
And-
That's the thing though. These movies they're not necessarily like, you're not watching these movies for a good movie. You're watching these movies because they're over the top. They're hilarious because the characters are so serious.
That's
and
what makes them a good film.
Exactly, and it's just so much more fun because of it.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and I didn't think I would. I thought I was getting sick of this, but I'm not.
No, I mean, I definitely.
Like, I genuinely think the magnets, like, it was over the top.
The magnet stuff was wild, man.
But I think I thought it was pretty fun. It was the most fun final set piece, I think, since the vault in Fast 5.
For sure.
I think
For
Fast
sure.
5 is still the best.
I definitely agree with you there. The magnet stuff was really fun. It was wild to watch. It was just one of those things, like, you, again, with a lot of stuff in these movies and movies in general, you just have to be willing to, like, put aside your belief of reality and say, like, this is happening. Because, like, the thing was, it was wild watching them, like, direct the magnetic fields.
Yeah.
Like there's cars all around them, but they're setting up a trap
Yeah.
to use the wires hanging above, and so they stuff.
I have to
it was just
commend-
wild. It was really fun though. Honestly.
I have to commend Justin Lin, who has directed a handful of these Fast and Furious films.
He's done at least 4. I think
He did 3, 5. I'm pretty sure he's done 3, 5, 7, 9.
That's what I'm saying. He's done a majority of them at this point.
And he knows how to direct action, because, like, this was crazy shit happening,
Oh yeah.
but it was completely followable.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a problem with the
definitely.
action, it wasn't like the Transformers issue where it's metal slamming against each other.
It's just a bunch of CGI,
And you have no idea what's
splattered
going on.
across the screen.
The action featured was understandable. It's like, yeah, it's outlandish, but you're like, okay, you see him crank up the magnet, and
Yeah.
then from the appropriate side of the screen where your eye is being led to,
Yeah.
you see something come flying, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely hits that.
You're able to understand what's going on. There was no action sequences that I was like, felt like I was getting motion sickness.
For sure. The only other thing I really want to touch on, we got like a few minutes left here.
Yeah.
The only thing I really want to touch on besides this in the movie was going to space. So,
Which
so
wasn't it was
the upper atmosphere, really.
I think the space, dude, they got picked up by the fucking space station.
That's right. No, they're out there.
They're out there. You know, I don't think the space was a whole lot of nothing to me.
It was shockingly, like, you knew you wanted it to happen. They did it in this movie, and it really was kind of like this background thing.
Yeah.
Like, which was so surprising.
And I thought it was fucking funny, the back and forth between Tej and Roman.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Ludacris and Tyrese, throughout this
good
whole
chemistry.
series, they really play well off each other.
And, like, that was funny, but I felt like the space bit was in it so Tyrese could yell, I don't want to die, and, like, be sort of like the end point to the, oh, we're invincible type bit that was running.
Fair enough.
I felt like it was completely unnecessary, but I also won't complain about it.
I agree. I think it was unnecessary. I think people for a long time have kind of like jokingly speculated that they're going to
embraced the meme.
And that's something that you saw more than I think the other movies. In Fast 9 here, you really saw the franchise kind of being self-aware.
Yeah.
Very self-aware in this movie in comparison to how a lot of movies sort of approach themselves, like their sort of reputations, I think.
Absolutely. It didn't. Fast and Furious has never taken itself seriously. I don't think that's going to change.
But this is the first movie that there was like definitively less street racing. There's up until now there's always been at least one or two street race. Oh, I guess there was in the flashback sequence. They did sneak one in.
And it was a well-shot one as well.
Yeah. The flashback sequences in this movie all took place like it was such a good film technique. They kind of the
gradient changed.
Yeah,
it started, and even the intro was the old Universal logo, which I was like, what is this?
We were both sort of like, kind of caught us off guard, but it works so well.
It works really well.
And they did do a really good job of sort of like visually showing you which time period you're
Once
in.
again,
it was
props to
pretty
Justin Lin.
Yeah, definitely.
Him
definitely.
and whoever the cinematographer was that helped execute that vision.
Yeah.
Well done.
Absolutely.
That was some of the visual aspect of this film was some of the highlights.
Definitely.
Shall we wrap it up?
I feel like I just
Overall
really,
positive,
again, I
right?
really I was so happy to go see that movie in theaters. It was such a great experience.
If you're missing
Enjoying
the movies, go watch Fast and Furious.
Dude, get yourself out there, watch a big bombastic movie, just
And
you're supposed to.
You know what else you should do? Listen to more Old Heart Radio podcasts.
It's on Instagram,
and
it's on
follow
Twitter,
us.
it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify and iTunes, it's everywhere.
Do we have anything else, my friend?
Just try to stay cool.
Damn, yeah, I'm sweating. Let's get the fuck out of here. Peace.